So this is Eudora Welty as photographer, and I want to tell you first just a little bit about the cameras that she was using and how she began this. So she actually had 3 different cameras. She started with a Kodak Eastman 616 that had a 6.3 lens and a common shutter, one with a bellows. It wasn't one of those little box cameras. She recalled that she really could see the 116 negatives before I printed them or made enlargements. This comment tells us that she was already seeing something beyond what she was seeing out there. She knew what she was taking a photograph of. She used this for a short time between 1935 and before 1935 really. And she started taking photographs probably in the 1930s. Her father was a photographer. He would arrange to take photographs by setting the camera up and figuring out some sort of remote release sort of mechanism, the way we still do today, when we run around and get in front of the camera. So we have photographs that he took of himself and of his wife and then of the children, the family, using these sort of techniques. And he helped to fund the first camera shop in Jackson, Jackson's Standard Photo. So she was very aware of the possibilities of photography, and she was somewhat familiar with the equipment that would be used. After that Eastman Kodak camera, she used a 3x4 Kodak Recamar, or possibly a 33. But this camera, the Recamar, used expensive film packs, and it only had, I think, 12 images or 12 slides, 12 prints to a film pack. So that was too expensive to be able to use. It's kind of important to recognize these different cameras because we can tell then something a little bit more about the images and about her photographing practices. In 1937, she bought a medium format camera. Now actually, Suzanne Mars, who's the biographer, thinks that that was maybe 36. So when I say post 36 or a photograph that is taken with this third camera says post 36, it could be in 36 also. The specific dates aren't necessarily known. Welty's memory was not always perfect about remembering when she took a certain photograph, but we have some relative idea. Okay? So she was using a 2x1/4 by 2¼ Rolleiflex. So those images and negatives are square. The Kodak Eastman ones are long, they're 2½ by 4½. The Recamar are rectangular, but 3x4, and then you have these square ones, 4½ by 4½. And so when we look at the contact prints, or we look at the images as they're printed in this, or in, especially in this book, Eudora Welty As Photographer, we can tell which camera by the size of the image. None of the photographs in Eudora Welty As Photographer are cropped or adjusted in any way other than the technician at the Mississippi Department of Archives and History taking the negative, if there's one available, and trying to produce the best image according to his own artistic sense. Now, some of the images here I would have liked to have been a little bit lighter or a little bit more refined over here, but as any artist would know, you have a certain mindset and you're not going to necessarily go tinkering around when some, you know, scholar from another state comes in and says, oh, I really like this to look like this. No, so I was not able to be involved in the production of the prints that would be used from Welty's negatives. So anyway, let me come back. What she said about this Rolleiflex camera was that it had a wonderful ground glass viewfinder, which was the exact size and shape of the picture I was going to take. I got a sense of composing a precise picture, and the negatives were lovely to work with. This is the camera that Welty used until May of 1950, when she left it in a metro station as she was returning to the city from visiting friends in Meudon, outside of Paris. So I actually have friends in Meudon, and I know the house of the family that she stayed at. I've been to the train station where she left this camera, and there was no sign of it. But if you go to Paris and you go into some old camera shop, which you should do, I'm giving you a job, just be looking to see if there are any 4x4 contact prints made from some film, because then we would know what she saw and what she was doing in Paris at that particular time.